Good evening, everyone. I am Rhonda J. Smith, certified holistic health practitioner and owner of Soul Delights, a company to help you to attain and maintain your health naturally. Thank you so much for looking at this video tonight. Tonight, I'm dealing with laying a foundation. Last week, when I broadcast, I talked about dealing with systems and how we have to change and focus on our body systems and not just look at the things that are ailing the body. And I made a comparison to what's going on in the world. We've been seeing a lot of protests going on because of the murder of George Floyd and several other African Americans by the hands of police. And people are talking about change, focusing in on systems and destroying systems to rebuild them. So is the same thing we talked about last week, that we need to look at our body systems, looking at the cardiovascular system, looking at the respiratory system, not just looking at the fact that you have high blood pressure, not just looking at the fact that you may have asthma, but what is going on with your system and what is going on with particular organs. Well, today I want to continue in that discussion with the title of this broadcast, laying a foundation, because this is something that we need to look at, is the foundation. How can you build up if the foundation is not strong? And that reminds me of a scripture. And those of you who know, I am a Christian. I count on the Lord to guide me in whatever I do. And it is the same thing in naturopathic health, that I look to God to guide me, to help my clients with their holistic health. And so we need to look at the whole person. And truth can be gleaned from anywhere as it relates to helping the body to heal itself. And I thought about the whole notion of foundation, and I'm sure other people, particularly those of the Christian faith, may have thought about these scriptures as we think about laying a foundation. And found in Matthew chapter 7, particularly verses 24 through 27, Jesus talks about the person who builds a house on sand and compares that also to a person who builds a house on a rock. And the house that he's speaking of specifically is those people who place their faith in things that aren't strong. In this particular instance, their faith being built on Jesus Christ, who is the rock. This is what the Christian faith teaches. Anything else built on something else is shaky ground, it's sandy ground. If you count on your career to build your life upon, that's sandy ground. Your house will be shaken. Your life will be shaken. If you build your life on your money or anything outside of what Jesus is saying is strong faith in Him, that will be shaken. Well, the same is true when we're talking about the governmental systems that we're dealing with, the police. All those systems were built on man-made things that have tried to ignore people who have been integral to building this nation. And so it is no accident that we're seeing the uprisings that we have seen over the years, but this one being different. People want to change the foundation, look at the system and change and lay a new foundation. And so it is the same thing with your body. And so I want you to begin, if you have not already, to examine your body. What foundation have you laid for your health? What foundation have you laid? And I know some people tune in because you recognize the foundation that you have laid is not a strong one, and you're having breakdowns in your body. Things are not going well because of the foundation that you may have laid. You have laid a foundation of poor eating habits. And you all know I always talk again holistically. It's in the title that I have been bestowed with, Certified Holistic Health Practitioner, because I looked at the whole system. And so it's not just your eating habits, there are other habits, including your emotions. And so I want you to ask yourself, and we're going to get into future discussions about the foundation that needs to be laid. But I want you to examine the foundation, if it's not strong, that you have already laid, and look at why it's problematic. And so, yes, I want you to examine your eating habits. Are you a junk food junkie? Do you eat out of emotion? What are the foundations that you have? Do you drink enough water, or do you grab diet soda? Yes, looking at the foundation of your food. Also, whatever you take into your body in terms of drinks. But not just those things. What about your emotions? How have you laid a foundation for those? What is at your core? Do you have a root of bitterness where you say, well, I just don't want to be bothered with him. I forgive him, but I don't want to be bothered. If you find yourself talking like that, you may find that you still are bitter about a particular situation. And we do have a right to be angry. But my point of view is that of the Bible that says to be angry and sin not. And so you don't want to allow that to fester because you have a root of bitterness. And a root of bitterness eats away at your bones. The psalmist talks about that. And it's true that you weaken your body. If you look at my earlier broadcast, I talked about how your thought patterns can change the physiological structure of your body because they affect your system. And so you may change things in your body, but in terms of your eating habits, but if you're not dealing with the emotions, you still are not able to move forward. You need to be able to break up that foundation of those emotions that have you bound. Allison says, I've been uprooting and relearning. It takes time. Yes, it does. But my mind and body must be strong to do kingdom work. I cannot emphasize that enough. Thank you so much, Allison, for adding that, because this is what we're talking about. Each of us was put on this earth to do a work. And as Allison says, she knows God has put her on this earth to do the work of what he wants her to do. We all have an assignment and we need to be strong. And so we need to look at our foundations and not just go after fad diets, not just go after the latest fad, not just fad diets, but alkaline water. You know, that's the thing. A keto diet, that's the thing. Intermittent fasting, that's a thing. And each of those has its place. Don't get me wrong. Again, I'm a holistic health practitioner. So I help people, and these are some of the methods that I use, but these also can be band-aid methods if you do not get to the core of your system, of the foundation that you have laid. Because if you're laying your foundation on sand, these emotions that have you bound, that keep you tied up, they are going to have negative effects on your body in terms of your nervous system, in terms of, again, just your health, your cardiovascular system. All of these play into it. And so I'm imploring you to look at your foundation, look at your core, because these are foundations that need to be broken up so that you can lay a new foundation and begin again. There's no amount of health food that you can eat that will make you holistically better if you have not dealt with the foundation, mind, body, and spirit. So we need to work on these changes not just on the outside, but also on the inside. And dealing with these changes again means working on the foundation. This will help you to be able to not only look at your life in the latest new foundation, but it will allow you to destroy what is hindering you and give you strength to be able to deal to build a new one. And so I'm encouraging you, I am pleading with you to wash away the sands of your foundation and lay a rock of good habits. These good habits that we're going to be talking about that are good to lay are called in my background the foundations of health. These give you a fighting chance. And I've mentioned these before, but the next few weeks, I'm going to go into more depth about the foundations of health. We are talking about nutrition. We're talking about hydration, exercise. These are some of the foundations. Dealing with stress, making sure that you rest. These are the foundations, and making sure that your body is eliminating, and not just eliminating from your bowels, but eliminating from the various aspects of your life, of your body system. Elimination. So yes, elimination from physical organs, but also eliminating from things that you have going on in your life that need to make a change. This is laying a good foundation. And so again, I come on here and I give you tips that will help you in your journey, but sometimes you need help one-on-one. And so I encourage you to reach out to me. I, again, am Rhonda J. Smith, certified holistic health practitioner. In some circles and in Michigan, it is legal to call myself a naturopathic doctor. And I am of the traditional path. And so I'm not a medical on the medical side where I mix pharmaceuticals and natural methods. My path is traditional, where we look at diet, we look at exercise and other lifestyle issues. We look at herbs and other methods to be able to help you. And so I want you to reach out to me at souldelights.com. As always, I'm going to put that in the chat so that you can see that. But these are times where we need some help. We need people to walk alongside of us. I encourage people to have a therapist. And while I'm not a therapist, again, I look at you holistically, and I do have methods that help the body, that help the soul, particularly your emotions. And I know a lot of us have emotions that are all over the place right now. There is help for you. I can provide help even in that area. So again, reach out to me. I will be able to do one-on-one consultations with you. I know here in Michigan, we've opened up, and so we don't have a lot of social distancing like we've had before. And so that I can meet with you, and not just virtually, but I will be able to meet with you virtually also, so that you can get a plan in place that will fit you. Not just the general information that I'm giving to you all, but things that will help your particular body so that you know what is going on with your system. I have ways to be able to assess your body and what's going on internally, looking deeper in your body than even in some ways that your medical doctor may not have been able to check out. And so again, Rhonda J. Smith, I am the owner of Soul Delights, a company to help you to attain and maintain your health naturally. Thank you all so much for joining me once again. I appreciate the comments, those of you who've commented, and for watching. And if you watch me on the replay, I would encourage you to just note that also, like and share. And it's not for me to be popular, but I know that I have a message that is helpful to people, and I want to reach as many people as I can. Again, thank you so much. God bless you.